Lane, how have you seen Jackson handle bringing in a couple new quarterbacks?
I think it's been great for him. I think that it's natural for us not to, want competition around and certainly understand that, but I think it's been really good for him. He's looked great, which is strange to say for a returning starter. He's probably one of our most improved players out there, and he looks better physically, mentally, everything. So we've been very excited about him so far.
Lane, through the first 4 days, I mean, just your general assessment, what you've seen and how you feel.
I think that our offense would be ahead of our defense, which is to be expected with the returning system back. And we got a brand new system on defense and a lot of new players and lost some good players. So I would say that would be my general assessment, and a lot of work to do to develop depth on both sides of the ball, but also really excited about our guys and knowing that we will continue to improve with so many new guys.
You talked about depth on certain sides of the ball, certain position groups. Is there a certain position group where you're kind of concerned depth-wise?
Well, I don't think we have a lot of numbers at running back. Excited about the ones that we do have, but that would be an issue. I think that there's some issues in the secondary due to some injuries and pure numbers, especially outside at corner. So those would be the ones that stand out to me right away.
I know it's just a handful of practices, but just what have you seen out of Bentley kind of in that position now that he's full go after having kind of a lot of injuries last year?
Yeah, Bentley's had a great camp so far, spring, whatever you call it. And I do think that his injury set him back during the season, which would anybody missing all that time. And then he didn't have many opportunities. We played the other two guys a lot. And prior to his injury, we talk about analytics. His analytics about first downs and touchdowns per carry were extremely good. And he was getting ready to have a great year.
Just with Spencer, how are you kind of going about that with evaluation-wise, knowing he's still trying to work his way back and just kind of putting all that into the equation?
Yeah, we've limited what Spencer's been able to do from a medical standpoint. So, we're looking at obviously the long term there and not pushing that too much right now. So I think he's done a really good job learning a new system from a mental standpoint, and so the physical stuff will come because obviously he's talented.
Just curious about your evaluation of Walker Howard.
Yeah, I think that Walker has really, with Spencer missing time with, our plan with him and limited reps, Walker's got a lot of opportunities in a lot of situations, and he's done really well. And I love his leadership skills and his energy. And, during workouts, he was calling players out, which is highly unusual for any new player, let alone really a guy that just finished his freshman year. So I think he has some unique intangibles.
Just with Mingo and Heath kind of now out of the fray, how have you seen kind of Chris Marshall just kind of grow in this system just thus far? I know it's kind of early, but just your initial thoughts of him.
Yeah, I think outside receiver obviously was a concern. That's why it was addressed, as you see in the portal for us. And we're excited about the guys like Chris that are here, but at the same time, they're younger than those last two guys, and Mingo and Malik. So there's a lot of work to do out there.
Lane, you guys are hosting Pro Day tomorrow. Just your thoughts on some of the guys participating, Tavius Robinson, Nick Broker, Zach Evans, of what they could do to kind of help their stock tomorrow.
Yeah, it's exciting for guys. We don't really, I think people think we have a lot to do with it. We don't. This is their Pro Day, and it's for the scouts to run and for these guys to shine. So I know they put a lot of effort into it. I've seen a few of them around last week and even over the weekend in here getting ready for it. So it's exciting for those guys and for smaller name guys as well to get their shot.
More questions?
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good week.